Hey guys, Ben here. Just wanted to share the news and kind of talk about it, but as you can see from the video behind me that came out in the This Week in Warhammer session or video from Games Workshop, we've got High Elves and Vampire Team coming up this weekend on pre-order, but it is the made-to-order classic. So we've got the 3rd edition High Elf team that is just a chunk of metal beauty, and the Vampire team that came out, it must have been, I don't know, I guess it kind of sits in 3rd edition, but around about early 2000s, I think. That was kind of the height of, well, that was kind of like the end of Pro Blood Bowl from Games Workshop before they went dark, really. So, what does it mean? So let's have a quick look at the actual teams themselves so we can identify the positionals and see what you get in the box. So when it comes to the High Elf team, we get one catcher here, one thrower here, and a blitzer and another blitzer. Now what it looks like is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 linemen on top of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players there. You get the one thrower, you get those 2 blitzers that you need. 2 catchers are fine. I mean, it's a difficult one because obviously you do want to be able to buy more. So when it comes to the made-to-order teams, it's difficult. If you want 2 throwers, what do you do? Do you buy 2 boxes? Now, when we've seen the made-to-order stuff before, it's not been cheap, has it? I can't even remember how much it was. I think the Chaos Dwarf one was something like £55 or something. So the wood at this High Elf one, I'm expecting to be £45, £50 as well, which is quite a lot for this team. Now, it does have some fantastic retro elements. Like, this is the High Elf team from Blood Bowl. Like, I'm tempted to get it just because it is the High Elf team from Blood Bowl. Now, there are other ways to get the High Elf team. The most High Elf feely team was the one that Windsor Chog came out with. That is now gone. So there's a couple of other teams out there for High Elves, and there's some definite like easy head swaps for the Pro Elf team, which is kind of where I'd go. But if you think about cost-wise, getting the Pro Elf team, getting some heads made up or printed or from other bits and kits, this is probably still going to be, even if this comes out at, like, what did I say, £45, £50 or something like that, it's probably still going to be the cheapest way to get a High Elf team, which is kind of phenomenal, really. Now, High Elves are good, especially in 7s. So if you kind of want a little bit of a challenge or something different when it comes to elfing around, then the High Elf team is going to give you that. This kit, 2 catchers, 1 thrower, 2 blitzers, is going to do you for the start of your team, and potentially most tournaments up to 1200, 1250. So Elves die. High Elves have got better armor, so they don't die quite as much. Those catchers are pretty sweet. The thrower's pretty fun. It's a cool team. I like the High Elves, and I do like to see the made-to-order stuff come out. But I think we can all agree that this one is a very interesting release. So this is the Vampire team. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Vamps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Thralls. So you get 12 players again, so I'm expecting it to be in the same kind of price range, £40 to £60, depending on how nice Games Workshop are feeling towards us Blood Bowl players. Now, the really interesting thing about this team being released is that vampires are still in that kind of situation where if you want a tier 2 challenge, they are definitely a tier 2 challenge. Animal Savagery kind of makes them, it just makes them different. I don't think they're particularly better or particularly worse. Some elements are better, some elements are worse. Passing got worse for everybody. So it's an interesting team. When it comes to finding miniatures of vampires, there are some really lovely third-party teams. I don't imagine they're selling very well at the moment. I think Willie's miniatures have got a really good one, and obviously Punga do some fantastic stuff. I'm not sure if they're general release yet or not, but they're pretty lovely models. If you want a vampire team, you can get a vampire team. Again, they are going to be expensive compared to the plastic teams, but it is still going to be the cheapest way to get a vampire team, and it is the Blood Bowl vampire team. Now, style-wise, I never actually liked this team very much. I don't know why. It just looks like a mediocre third-party team, okay? Not like top-tier Punga Grebo, not like that, but just like some other company that they've made one team and this is it. It never kind of fit with that Blood Bowl element. It's probably because the edges are painted brown, and that just angers me sometimes because it just all blends in. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. The thing we really have to consider is the fact that both of these teams are being made to order. So we had the, the Chaos Dwarf team, I think was probably the last one that was made to order, and everybody was like, well, what if they made to order then go and release the Chaos Dwarf team? Well, that didn't happen. We haven't got a Chaos Dwarf team yet. So I think it is pretty safe to assume, as far as Games Workshop goes, that if we're getting made-to-order vampires and made-to-order high elves, even though I know that there's going to be a lot of people out there saying, you know, oh, Games Workshop, last-minute cash grab, LOL, they're going to drop the release soon. I am pretty sure, if we can kind of see from how they've done things historically with the old made-to-order stuff, and actually we've seen the other Blood Bowl teams come up made-to-order, I think this means we're not getting high elves for a while. I think this means we're not getting vampires for a while, which is kind of good. I mean, I actually think both those teams need a little bit of love. You know what? I actually think all the teams of Legend that are left need a bit of love. They don't quite feel like a Blood Bowl 2020 team. They're just ported straight over with a couple of little changes. And I think, well, they need a Spike magazine. They need to be re-immersed in Blood Bowl land. And if vampires and high elves are going to be as they are, we've got a made to order here. I think it's going to be years then. I can't see these guys being released within the next year. So if you are a vampire coach or a high elf coach, or you are intending to take those teams, I think made to order kind of indicates that you're not getting a shiny new team soon. So if we're not getting high elves and we're not getting vampires, Chaos Dwarves, they've done that made to order re-release. Amazons, Norse, haven't seen those, and Khemri definitely didn't see that. I wonder if we are going to see a Teams of Legend team land soon, and if they've done the made to orders, I don't think it'll be these two teams. It's possible they'll do Chaos Dwarfs, because the made to order for Chaos Dwarfs was what feels like years ago. It may not have been, like it may have actually only been last year, but in fact, let's have a quick look. Yeah, just went back and checked. That was the 14th of December 2019. So they did the the made-to-order Chaos Dwarves 18 months ago and a week. So we haven't seen them drop yet. So I think if you are considering purchasing a High Elf team, a Vampire team, or kit bashing a High Elf team, a Vampire team, you guys may just have up to 2 years left. Now, they are running out of teams, so let's bear that in mind, okay? If we assume the fact that they've dropped 2 teams this year, I know they haven't, but that's feasible to think of things like that. So we may have another 2 teams. It's June now, but we saw this a couple of years ago where they like dropped one in July and then in September and then December with the Ogres, and it was awesome. So it is possible that, you know, we'll have this one now, and then maybe come July we'll have a team, and then maybe come October we'll have a team. And that's 2 of the remaining 6 teams. That's assuming they are the 2 of the remaining 6 teams. That could very well be Khemri and maybe Norse or Amazons. I mean, there's been some rumours about Amazons and Norse being kind of rebuilt. So we could see those 2 drop this year. Then that only leaves 4 teams. So if they're doing the made-to-orders now, they've done the made-to-order Chaos Dwarves. If they drop them this year, that's still 2 years for made-to-order. If they release these elves and vampires now, and then they come out next year, it'll be a year. Now, if you've ever played Magic the Gathering, that rotation is quick. And the good thing is these miniatures aren't going to go out of style. Well, I mean, depending on how you feel about the goggles of the Chaos Dwarfs and the hats or waste bins. I like them. But we could have a good year with these miniatures being the only ones available. And then on top of that, because it's Blood Bowl, you may still be fine. My nervousness with the pre-order stuff, with the made-to-order stuff, is what happens when they change positionals. So when it comes to High Elves, I don't think they're going to change the positionals. I don't think they're going to change much about the team. I think it's fine, it's inoffensive, it's tier 2 that has advantages and has disadvantages. They're probably going to drop it just as it is, which I think will be a shame, but actually it's going to work well for you guys if you pick up the made-to-order. Vampires, I think, will get a bit of a change, but I'm not sure if they'll get another positional. So if you're picking up one of these 2 teams, it's risky, because we don't know what positionals are going to land. I think it's safe to say we're not going to get a full team for them from Games Workshop with the modern treatment for a little while, but at some point they could be invalid. If there's another vampire position, or if there's another thrall position, or if high elves get tweaked a little bit, it is always risky with these made to order things, because you don't know exactly what they're going to do when it comes positional wise. Anyway, I do think that it's pretty cool that they're being released, and if you do want those classic high elf miniatures, then, which I am clearly tempted by because I'm a high elf player from Warhammer of old, I don't know, I like them, I think it's cool. I just hope this doesn't count as our Blood Bowl release for this month. because come on, let's have another team, let's have some more goodies. We've all just started playing leagues and tournaments. It's clearly time for more change. Anyway guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Do let me know what you think about the made to order stuff. If you've picked up a team in the past, whether you think it's a good idea, whether it's too expensive, whether it's not too expensive, whatever, just let me know what you think. And we'll be back later on today with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the show even further, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Or come and join us in our Patreon, link below, where you get early access to our content and monthly competitions. See you later.